Tuesday. It's lunchtime for me. Let's get cracking. So I struggled for 2 days here on day 7. I couldn't do it. So I'm gonna move on to day 8. Maybe someday if I get an easy win, I can come back and try to continue struggling through day 8. But for now, let's move on to day 7. Digital copy. Special characters. Okay, I know what escape characters are. At least I understand something that's going on. Gotcha. So what they're saying is there's sort of 2 properties that we're talking about. One, the length of the string in the code, which in this case is 2. There's 2 characters there. But the string itself, what's in between these are 0. ABC's length of 5 in the code, but 3 in like the data. This is an escape character, so it's got 10 characters. The 3 A's would be in the string. This quote would be in the string in 3 A's. So it would have 7 characters. Okay, so I think we know sort of what they're talking about here. Oh, and there's, okay. The hex characters. All right, so what I would have to do is something along the line of, once we hit this character, we stop, see what's next. If it's an X, then we do 2 more characters to figure out what's going on. And then if it's anything besides an X, maybe I'll have to look and see what the different. Gotcha. So it's always going to be an X. So that'll be okay. This should be straightforward. Okay. How many characters are in memory for the value? Okay. All right, so let's look at our puzzle input. Well, first, we'll look at our puzzle input so we know how to read it. Bunch of different lines. So we're going to do, no, I'm not going to copy 7. That's bad juju. Okay. So I'm just looking at the inputs to see if there's, okay, we're going to use day 6. Copy, paste, and rename it day 7. No, day 8. And let's cd into 8. Open that up. All right. First thing we'll do is delete all this, copy all this in. Do you hear that? My daughter's dancing. Dancing above us. But like I say, it's her house too. All right. Let's look in main. Get rid of some stuff. We don't need this. We don't need this. We do need this, right? This is going to be what we use to read our stuff. We're going to be making an array of all these characters. but I don't think we need to like split on anything. Let's just keep this for now. We don't care about what kind of type these are. They can all be strings. We don't need that. We don't need that. We don't need that. We don't need that. We'll just empty this out. We are going to be returning an int, I believe, so that's fine. Pull that. All right. So that's set. Get rid of all our tests. Just get rid of all of them. All right. Except for turning it on, right? So let's see. Let's make a test input for the first part. All right. And oh, how am I going to do this? Single quotes? Will that work? Or am I going to need to do escape characters myself? Yep. Okay. Well, there we go. I'll come in later with those. This is actually going to be not like super easy to test, right? Because okay. So we should get that. We need more quotes here. We'll need to escape that. We'll need to, so it is escaping that, but we need to also have another one, right? I think that'll do it. So we're escaping having the quote. We're escaping, we're having that slash. We're escaping, we're having the quote, we're escaping, okay. And we'll see what this looks like. Escaping that, escaping that, escaping that. All right, let's run that test. Okay. Let's fail it real quick by just getting rid of that too, just to see what everything looks like. Okay. So it's saying that this one with the 7 is length 5, which it's actually length 6, right? So that we're getting that right. It's detecting the length of that. All right. So I think we're set with reading our file. Now what do we need to do? We're going to need to do two things, right? First, we're going to have to test we're going to make it into an array, right? Or do we need to? because I'm pretty sure I could just iterate through the string without making it an array, right? Yes. Test. Okay, so we're going to say code length. And in it, we're going to pass a... What are these? We're going to return 2. We're going to input See, I am afraid, so I'll tell you what I'm afraid of. I'm a little concerned that what I'm going to be doing is, testing out these that don't actually look like what I have. So what I'm going to do is make test input 2 just for now, just so that I know that I'm sort of reading things properly. So that's what I'm going to do. This should just be... Well, I want it to just be the string. That's what it's reading. Okay, I take it all back. We're just going to grab this and dump it in there, because that's the string that we're expecting to put in there. Okay, we want it to result in 2. Code length. And we got equal to 5 here. 10 here. And 6 here. All right, let's run it. Obviously, it doesn't like it because we have undefined code length. All right, so let's... Don't want array. And it's going to take in a string. This is going to be iterating through those strings. String, and it's going to be outputting an int. And how are we going to do that? Right? That's all we should need to do, right? Let's see. Yep, that's all we need to do. All right. So we are able to put that in and see that it is a length of 2, code length 2. All right, so now we have to test string length. Thankfully, we can use our same strings there. And this is going to equal 0. This is going to equal 3. And this is going to take more than just this one test to figure out, right? 7. And just 1 and apostrophe 1. Okay. Okay. So we're not going to get to this quite yet, right? What we need to do is make some tests that check to escape. And what do we got here? Okay. So I guess this should be like a true or false. So this is a false. This is going to be a false. It's going to be true. True. All right. And for this, we don't need to have these whole strings. We're just going to have the one character, right? It's just going to be a character. We're going to check a quote, just a quote by itself. We're going to check just a letter, A. We're going to check having that escape character, right? Yeah. And then a number. No, it doesn't really matter. Those are the 3 options. Quote. And then what we'll do within our logic is, we'll do an I loop, right? So a for loop that includes the length of the string, and we'll go through it. And if we encounter an escape character, like the slash, right, we'll say, what's the next character, right? If the next character is a quote, we'll just call it a quote. If it's a slash, we'll just call it a slash. If an X, right? So if it's either of these two, then what we'll do is just like skip over the next one, right? And if an X, we'll skip over the next, whatever it is, 3, right? That's how we'll do that. But all we have to do is look to see if it's a slash, a quote, etc. We don't have escape, so let's do escape. Escape, and we'll be inputting a string, which should just be a character, right? And we will be outputting Boolean if think that's just the one string, right? It equals that. And we can make this smaller, right? We can just say return, right? Because that'll be a true or false statement. All right, let's test it. All right, all those escapes passed, and now we're all on to complaining about string length. Okay, now we have a function that will check to see if there is an escape character there. That's good. All right, let's go back to our tests. And so we're going to need to do something if that's true. How are we going to think about this? So we're going to start with our code, right? And our code always has quotes separating it, right? All of them. Okay. So we're always going to be subtracting at least 2 for those 2 quotes, because the string is going to always be within those 2 quotes. So we're always going to have the length, so the code length minus 2, and then also minus something else. And we need a way to keep track of what we're subtracting. Every time we hit a true here, where we have an escape character, we're going to check the next character, right? Let's just call it skip number. It's not a great name, but let's go with it. All right. And we should only hit skip number if we have to escape here, right? So, well, at least that's what I'm planning on doing, right? So what were our cases for skipping, right? So we've got 2 of these, right? One of those, or one of X27, for example. Okay, so what all do I have to escape? I need to have one to add that to the string. All right, that's what those are going to look like. Right, oh, I guess that makes sense. Does it? Yeah, okay, so we're not including those in, you know, we're looking at the characters, right? And so we're not including in these like major strings the first quote or the escape there, right? So this would just be this value, this would just be this value, and if you had the slash, you would just have the 4 of them there. Okay, I think we got that right. So So we're going to skip one. Skip one. Skip. Because I think that we can just count the escape character, right, as the character that's in the code, because one will be the result, right? So skip one, skip one, skip three. Right? Test skip number. Let's build our function. Escape. This will be happening in the loop, right? It's going to hit the true, and what it'll pass in is a string, next character. So imagine we're iterating through our string, right? We hit an escape character, and then we're going to figure out how many we skip over by passing in whatever the next character in the index is to this function, right? So in this case, we hit this slash and we say, we pass this into the next, into the function, right? Or we pass this into the function, or we pass the x into the function, right? Okay. So, and we're going to return int, which is going to be the number of like I as we iterate through that we're going to skip. Right. Or just the number that we're going to, add. We're going to continue removing, plus that to be the number we remove from the amount of code characters we have. All right, so if and you know what we're going to do? We're just going to say equals x and just assume that because these are the only ones used, if it's the x, return 3, else return 1. Okay. All right, now I think we're ready for these strings. Test string length. Into this, we are going to have our string. Oops, forgot to add func. Okay. Just int. So now we're going to be passing in that whole string from each line, right? So we got to iterate through that for so we're going to start with remove. Is a value that we're going to set to 2. So that is going to be, we know sort of right off the top, we're going to be removing the 2 quotes on either end, right? So we're going to remove 2, and then whatever we get from this skip number thing here, we will add that onto that. All right, for And this is where we're going to have to be able to skip over things, right? For I equals 0, this is index 0, until I is less than the string. We're going to do I plus plus. All right, so this will be iterating through each character in the string. So what are we going to do? If escape all right, so like if that's an escape character, then we're going to do two things. We're going to remove plus equal. We don't want to do that twice. Set a value equal to skip number string I plus 1, right? So that's that following one. And we're going to add jump to this. And so we're going to do I plus. I don't know if this is going to skip over extra numbers. We'll figure it out. I plus equals, I think it's going to be jump minus 1. Let's just start with jump. It'll fail. Probably. Okay, what's the problem here? Skip number, string. Okay, so we're adding that up, and string length would be, after all this is done, we return length of the string minus remove, right? Oops. Let's try it. Doesn't like it. All right. All right, so it went to 35. 3 here. Okay, so it looks like it made it to the first one, but it only removed 1 because it didn't see the X. If next character. Let's go ahead and print out what we're seeing here when we escape. Let's actually just to make it a little more readable. And print this. What do we got here? Oh, we don't want this. Okay. We want to have it in here. We don't want to see them all. We just want to see what happens when it has to be escaped. Has an error on 35 and 42. Oh, that makes sense because it's actually passing the rest of these. Okay. So the problem is that it's hitting that. Okay. And it's not. Well, that definitely makes sense. Okay, hold on. I shouldn't be doing that skip number. If it's escape character, we'll do next equals this is what the actual test is. All right, so that is interesting. Now it's passing 42, so it's giving us what we're looking for apparently for 42. So that's strange. It's saying that's equal to X, and we should be, I wonder if I'm not returning that properly. If next char, which it is, return 3. So we're going to jump 3. We're going to make this 5. Oh, did I? Hold on. $35 is wrong. That. It's saying that the next character after All right. Sorry about that. See if we can finish this up. All right, so what I'm expecting here on line 35 is to hit this character, right? And so what's it doing here? Am I printing two things? I don't think I should be printing two things. Oh, yeah, okay. Let me print both of these. Because there's the two that maybe are working. So one shows the escape character. And then the next shows the next character. So what do we got? We got a quote and an X. Got an X and a quote. Why don't we have the other one? These escape characters are tricky. Let me just get rid of these ones for now, just so that we don't need to be distracted by them and we can only see. Okay, so it doesn't do anything. Why isn't it doing anything, and why was it showing an X? Oh. Hold on. What am I testing here? Skip number. That's not string length, right? Skip number. That's a problem. Oh man. Okay. Okay, I'm done. Here we go. Let's pull all these back. So here's the issue, guys. I was testing for the wrong thing, right? Skip number here only accepts one character, right? One character. So what I need to be doing is getting rid of this first two of each of these, right? Because it's only testing the one character, right? But I need to have that escape. All right. No, I need a quote here. All right, so one's going to be passing in. Okay. Now it should pass. Okay, passes. I was passing in the wrong argument here, which was not helpful. All right, so let's get rid of that. All right, so I think we're ready for our integration test here. So let's grab this load input and call this data. Oh man, Google Cloud is down. I might have to get out of here. That's not good. My company works in Google Cloud. Should I be doing this right now? Maybe not. I'm actually going to stop for now. As much as I want to keep doing this because I think that I'm really close to the answer. I'm pretty sure that everything at work is exploding. So let me get out of here. No, I'm gonna finish this. Let's see. What should we get? 12. This will take just a second. Okay, let's look at part 1. We're gonna get that string. Total code equals 0. Total side 0 for line equals range data. We're gonna total code plus equal what was that? Code length. Code length line. None on the inside is plus equal to string length. Fine. We're going to go through all those and we're going to return total code minus total inside. Let's try it. Run, test, go. Doesn't like it. Actual 1. Ugh. What am I doing wrong here? All right. For each line, we're going to make the total code length. That's the whole thing. We know that works. Total inside, string length. It's going to sum all those up. All right. Since I don't know exactly what's going on. Oh, looks like it might all be back. Hold on. Google Cloud may have recovered. Spotify's back up, Target's back up, Title's back up. Will we come back up? Or none of those. All right. What's wrong? Actual 1. Why would it just be 1? Let's look at our tests. We are able to string length. We're getting that stuff, right? We're getting this sort of response. We're getting our string length. How many lines do we have? I don't know why this won't work. Oh, All right, let me be right back again. I need to check to see if this outage that's going on at work needs me. All right. It seems like everything is recovered. Thank you for being here with me during the great November 2021 Google Cloud Platform outage in which my phone blew up, but I stayed here with you to help Santa Claus. I think we're helping Santa Claus. Yes. Space sleigh. Looks like Google Cloud is back. So let's figure out what is wrong with our code. Let me print line. Let's see. FMT line and just see what we have here. Oh, that's why. Oh my god. Okay, so I'll tell you what happened. Let's get rid of this. We don't need this anymore. What would work better is if this code right here was in part 1 instead of part 2. That would help immensely, like a lot, because I'm not calling part 2, I'm calling part 1. All right. I have to say the Google outage did, there we go, it passes now. Okay. All right, let's run it though. Go run main.go. Let's see if that is the answer they want. Yay, it is. Right, let's see if we can do part 2 real quick. Part 2. Let's go another way, but why? Encode as a new string and find the number of characters of the encoded representation, including the surrounded double quotes. Encodes to that, right? All right, so they're basically asking me now the length of these things, right? So we need to make a new function that is gonna sort of have the same thing, right? The escape characters, and if where's my main function? So I'm still gonna have this like escape character function, but I'm going to be for each of those escape characters, I'm gonna skip it, right? But I'm still, let's see. it's essentially going to be the same one, but sort of reversed, right? How many extra characters I'm going to add. So let's look at the tests. I'm going to use this as my guide. And test string length, and I'm going to like call this part 2 or something. Test. We will test add number. All right. So here we want to, this would be the same, right? We would add 1, right? Because we're adding an extra 1. And we would add 3 for the X because that's what we're like. Where is it? Hold on. Oh, actually, I do have to go. I'll be back soon.